It seems living on a small island for the last 20 years has kept me somewhat sheltered, and I've become a little bit of a recluse. Because it wasn't until I went to Thailand and stayed at the Fusion Hotel that I had ever ordered food with an app. I felt like a genius after ordering some chicken tikka masala from a local Indian restaurant. I was blown away that the delivery charge was only 60 cents Canadian. That's about 40 cents American. For the first week in Bangkok, the area I'm staying in is called Asoke, or Asoke. It's on one of the main roads called Sukhumvit. The BTS SkyTrain has stops all along Sukhumvit. It's only 3 minutes between stations, with stops at a lot of the main areas of Bangkok, including Siam, Chitlom, Nana, Asoke, Prompong, Tonglo, Ekamai, Prakanong, Onnut, and Udom Suk. The SkyTrain is a very handy and cost-efficient way to get around. It's clean, safe, and you'll love the air conditioning.
Trains pulling up.
It's a real treat on a super hot day.
On an angle to get in. Let everybody else get off. Then you walk in.
7-Eleven is another place to duck into to get a bit of aircon to reset your body temperature. Keeping a damp rag is another good trick to cool yourself off too. Just stick it in a plastic bag and put it in your purse or your backpack or whatever you got. Without really having planned the trip ahead too much, at the Fusion Hotel, I needed to take some time to sit and think and make a coherent list of things to do. Luckily at the Fusion, they had a nice comfortable spot for me to do that. So, Asoke is what I would call westernized. There are a lot of English-speaking Thais and a lot of tourists. There's a big western-style mall right at the Asoke BTS station. The mall's called Terminal 21 because it's at the intersection of Sukhumvit Road and Soi 21. The word Soi refers to a side street that branches off a major street. So in this case, it would be called Sukhumvit Soi 21, or the side street called 21, which branches off of Sukhumvit Road. As a Westerner, Asoke is a pretty good place to land for the first time you come to Bangkok. It's crazy busy, but you'll find familiar things to slow down the culture shock of your first visit. You can explore from here and find an area that suits your fancy. One BTS stop to the west is Nana Station. That place is well known for its nightlife. There's lots of live music, bars, clubs, and the infamous Nana Plaza, the world's biggest adult playground. If you want to let loose, Nana would be the place to do that. Beyond being one of the central hubs of sex tourism, there's still lots of great people, tons of music, awesome restaurants, lots of street vendors, street food, plenty of good times outside of the funky sex tourism. Don't let that shy you away from Nana. If you spend enough time here, you'll come to terms with it in your own way. This has been going on here probably before I was born, so no need to rush to judgment. Is, as my father-in-law used to say. God rest his soul. Actually, I know John was here in Bangkok once. He probably loved it. Asoke is named after an Indian emperor, Ashoka the Great. Ashoka is known as one of the greatest Indian emperors of all time. He ruled the Maurya Empire in the 3rd century BCE. His grandfather was Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of the Maurya dynasty. An interesting note here is that Chandragupta had a battle with Alexander the Great. His father was Bindusara. Ashoka was so mighty, his empire included almost the entire Indian subcontinent. His capital city was called Pataliputra, which today is called Patna, which is the capital of the Indian state of Bihar. Ashoka had a desire to expand his kingdom even further, and he waged a war against Kalinga, which today is called Odisha. The war was so intense that the whole area of Kalinga was plundered and destroyed. This Kalinga war killed over 100,000 people and is known to be one of India's deadliest wars. When the war was over, Ashoka was filled with grief and remorse. The intensity of the battle had changed Ashoka forever. The word Asoke means one who is without sorrow. In Sanskrit, A means no, and Soka means grief or sorrow. Asok, one who is without sorrow. So that's what this area I landed in, Asok, is named after. Though Ashoka was born Hindu, the intensity and bloodshed of this war prompted him to adopt Buddhism. He began to spread Buddhism and promote non-violence. He even sent his children to spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Ashoka built numerous Buddhist monuments and various stupas, which are Buddhist worship places. He built them for the generations of the future to come. He built the Sanchi Stupa near Bhopal and the Sarnath Pillar with the lion capital near Varanasi. The lion atop this pillar has been adopted as the emblem of India. And the Ashoka Chakra, the wheel at the base of the pillar, can today be found in the center of India's national flag. Ashoka the Great will not be forgotten anytime soon. He lives on in the memory of the Indian people, and he lives on in Bangkok, Thailand. Asoke is an amazing place. You'll love it. It's full of great, kind people. And when you visit, you too will be one who is without sorrow. Thank you, Ashoka. Thank you, Thailand. So I really enjoyed the Fusion Hotel. Super cool rooms and such a cool ambience. The whole place has like a dark feel to it. It's not an evil darkness. It's more like a cool bar or nightclub. The lighting in the rooms is unusual too. Very unique. It's got really big beds that are soft and comfortable, which is definitely not the norm in Thailand. Some of the beds are rock hard. You might have to put a pillow under your hip at some of these hotels. Not this one though. It's super comfortable. The front end staff are great. They lean towards minding their own business as opposed to being in your face with pretend happiness and shallow greetings. Some people prefer that. I think I like a little of both. The cleaning staff are a little different. They're fun and playful. It's always a good idea to tip the cleaning staff. It goes a long way. And a few of your foreign dollars goes a really long way for the Thai people too. Back home, we are frowned upon if we don't tip at least 15%, even if the service is shit. Most places in Thailand don't expect tips, unless you're in one of the areas that are more westernized. The local coffee shop on Salt Spring wants me to tip before I've even got any service or seen how well they make my coffee. When you order your coffee, they hand you the electronic payment thing with the tip page loaded up. The first time I got that treatment, I hit the standard 15% button, only to realize I had to finish making the coffee myself. Had to take it over to the table and put my own cream and sugar in, and then try to find a lid and a stir stick. So why exactly am I tipping? Is it because you just gave me a fake smile and poured some black coffee into a paper cup? How hard is it to finish the job you started? Put some cream and sugar in there and give it a stir, put a lid on it, finish the job, and then I'll tip. Most coffee shops in Thailand finish the job and don't expect a tip. They handle the sugar differently though. It goes by a percentage of sweetness. 100% is super sweet, then there's 75, 50, and 25%. Okay, so back to the Fusion Hotel. It's located one big city block behind the Terminal 21 Mall. About a 5-minute walk from the Asoke SkyTrain station. It's a great location, especially if it's your first time in Bangkok. Everything you'll need is close by. The Fusion has a restaurant at the front of the building. Lots of Thai classics cooked fresh when you order. There's a mini bar too, so you can get a stiff drink whenever you need one. There's a little area in the foyer with tall bench seats and individual tables. I noticed many of the guests would use this area to work on their laptops or sit and plan their days. While staying at the Fusion, I was practicing writing Thai script. It's surprisingly fun, and somehow the shapes are strangely pleasing to create. Hopefully I'll keep it up. So as an exercise, I wrote a little note thanking the staff and letting them know the cleaning staff were fun to be around. They helped make my stay a very pleasant experience. I love good people. Prices per room vary depending on the season, which is another pet peeve of mine. Both the hotel industry and the airline industry have this pricing thing completely ass backwards. It's such a greedy way to operate. Love your fellow man, right? When they're busy, when they have more customers, they charge more. It's pure greed. As far as I can tell, the law of supply and demand posits that demand declines when prices rise for a given resource. So if demand increases, like in their busy seasons, prices should decline. There'll never be heaven on earth if we don't fix things like this. I swear, that's just pure greed. So the pricing's all over the map. For this area, I'd say it's a mid-priced hotel. If you plan ahead, you probably pay a lot less than last minute. For me, this place was worth the money. It was a cool spot, a great location. I was comfortable and well taken care of. I'd definitely stay here again for sure. It's funny how ridiculous I can be because I'm pretty sure I booked this place out of my love of fusion music. Oh well, it worked out pretty good. It's been great to be in a city again. I was really happy about getting a few hats made for my son's band, the Atom Lazar Quintet. It's easy to find a place in a city of over 8 million people. Another first for me at the Fusion Hotel was to try a papaya salad. After hearing they were quite spicy, I thought I'd give it a try. Maybe I'd start eating more salads and get healthy. It looked innocent enough, but this salad blew my face off. Just ridiculously hot, so just go easy with that one if you try it. And I'm telling you, that was so hot. I just didn't see that coming. Here's something quite unusual. I don't know about you, but this seems to me to be a pretty good incentive not to park my car here. That's a very good idea. Super functional for the purpose it was built for. Do not park here. This is the church, which is just behind Terminal 21. There's a canal, kind of a moat thing running by the front of the building. It was pretty stinky and looked really nasty. I think they've been trying to clean it up and keep it cleaner since I took this photo. This dude's trying his best to keep it clean. There's quite a few street vendors selling classic Thai street food nearby. You can get chicken on a stick, fried chicken, barbecued corn on the cob, funky sausages, fish balls, and even freshly fried donuts. These vendors are kind, friendly, and interactive Thai people.
Is this chicken or pork?
Blue chicken,
This is moo?
yeah, pork. Well, spicy, very good. Steamed pork, very pork.
Pork.
Yeah, very good. 74100. Yeah.
So don't just walk by, have a chat with them. Try their food. It's so cheap you can't go wrong to sample a few things. Well, maybe you could go wrong. Because I coined a new phrase on this trip to Thailand. Pad Thairia.
Squid?
I think you know where I'm going with that one. It's a really good idea to stick some Imodium in your bag on your trip. 'Cause if you get the Pad Thairia, you're gonna want some. You'll thank me. I thanked my doctor who advised me to bring some.
Hello. It looks like this is the rainy season. As far as I know, the rain ends in early November. You'll definitely want to bring your galoshes if you visit at this time of year. And if you forget your raincoat, 7-Eleven has got you covered. I heard they are closing a whack of 7-Elevens in the US. You'd never get away with that here. Thai people sure love their 7-Elevens. Anyhow, it can get quite wet in the rainy season. The drainage is a little different from our Western style. It seems a bit slower, and it can get backed up a fair bit. When it rains here, it's more like dumping water from the sky than it is like the sprinkly rain you may be used to. You could be up to your galoshes on some of these streets. But don't fear, it doesn't last long. Many days, it will pour down like a mofo for an hour, then everything will be bone dry an hour later. After all, the sun can be quite powerful when we get near the equator. It'll boil my Euro skin in no time if I'm not careful. And, by the way, did you know the Thai people call 7-Eleven 7 They drop the 11. That's Thai math. And they pronounce the V as a W, Suin. I assume the name was originally based on their hours of operation, Suin till 11. In Thailand, it should actually be called 24 because they don't close. They go full tilt, all day and all night. Thai Suin employees must think all you 9-to-5ers are a bunch of pussies. Back to you.
I noticed a fun little game going on at the doors to the ground floor elevator. People were balancing things, offerings of food and coins, on the statue of the Hindu elephant god, Lord Ganesha, or Ganesh. Lord Ganesha is known as the remover of obstacles. He's one of the most beloved and widely worshipped gods or deities in the Hindu pantheon. They say he grants wisdom too. People worship him before any new enterprise or great new endeavor. And he's the patron of intellectuals, bankers, scribes, and authors. His name comes from the word Gana, which means common people. The name Ganesha means both Lord of the People and Lord of the Ganas. Ganas are the attendants of Shiva, kind of his peeps or his posse. If you've started something new, a new business, a new job, a new journey in life, or maybe if you've just bought some crypto for the first time, people pray to or worship Ganesh. Apparently he'll share the wisdom you need, and he's got your back on the new journey. If you want a new Porsche or a Ferrari, that's a different god who'll help you with that one. As far as Hindu gods go, I'd say Ganesh is one of the coolest ones. There are a lot of statues of him all around Thailand. Some are massive. The world's tallest Ganesh statue is in Thailand. Klong Kuyan, in the Klong Kuyan Ganesh International Park. Devotion to Ganesh is widely diffused. It extends way beyond Hinduism. That's why you'll find him in and around the Buddhist temples of Thailand. This little statue at the elevator with its offerings of bananas and other foods and drink, and this game of stacking coins all over him gave me the feeling of good people with hope and sharing. It was a cool feeling. Now every time I see Ganesh, I get a good feeling inside.
I'm still not sure what to make of all of these small g lowercase gods and deities. What are they? Where did they come from? Is this real? What the F? This planet and our true history really is a bit of a wonder. We can wonder our lives away if we are not careful. It's such a riveting mystery. What about those fallen angels? What about the Nephilim and giants? Are the Greek gods, fallen angels, and these Hindu deities related somehow? One thing for sure, Many people over the years who wanted to exercise power and control over the masses have rewritten what we call history to provide for their greed and lust for power. Book burning was, and still is, a popular sport in those circles. Just imagine what may have been in the Library of Constantinople, the Library of Alexandria, or the one at Pergamum. And what about Hollywood? Isn't Hollywood the material witches use to make their magic wands? I'm pretty sure it is. It's no wonder we call them television programs. Apparently, I was programmed by this nonsense since the day I was born. That's pretty sad. Fortunately, in my case, I'm a very slow learner. Because today, I don't believe most of the bullshit, whoever they may be, try to cram into our heads and program us all with. If you ask dragons or dinosaurs, I choose dragons. If you ask spirit or matter, I choose spirit. If you ask Darwin or creation, there's no doubt creation was the way. What the means was is a whole other question. There are some great questions left to ask ourselves despite all of the years on Earth. Like, what am I? Where did I come from? How did I get here? Where am I going? And how the fuck am I going to get there? No Hollywood docu-series is going to be much help with figuring out the answers to those questions. And most of the books that may have proved helpful have been burnt long ago. But there's still a few kicking around. Although many of us have a bizarre aversion or fear of these old books. Many believe our generation is the cutting edge of humanity, the cat's meow, so to speak, with all of our fancy science and our professors doing their professing. With all of our technology and modern gadgetry, we may be a bit behind ourselves. I hear the average child's understanding of musical theory is way down compared to the past. And music is essentially string theory. It is all based on vibration. What could we be missing if we don't have a basic understanding of such things?
The first experiment for the cymatics music video is called a Chladni plate. Now, Chladni plate's basically a metal plate attached to the top of a speaker. There's sand on top of the plate, and you play different tones through the speaker. The plate vibrates, which forms different shapes depending on the frequency of the sound.
String theory is part of this modern understanding of physics today. What could we possibly learn from some dusty old books that have been kicking around for thousands of years? This caramel latte is the shit. Well, I've gone off on a pretty good tangent here, but this thing we call reality is awfully sketchy at best. I guess I'm trying to say that the how and why of it all, the how and why of our history, is still well worth taking the time to explore. Individually, of course. Can we really trust the programmers? Can we trust the professors? Can we trust their professing? Can we trust our leaders and rulers to give us the straight goods? Do they even know what straight goods are? They all have their own agendas and their own greed and lust for power to feed. Grab an old book. What is the worst thing that can happen? It could suck. Well, if it sucks, if it has nothing in there for you to take away, burn it yourself. But let's not let someone else burn it in our best interest before we've had a good look ourselves. Ultimately, if our DNA is all they say it is, everything should be written in there too. All of the source code, all of the history, everything we need to know should all be in there. So when the wonder gets too much to bear, have a look inside yourself. Everything you need to know, it should all be in there.